Hello and welcome to Chapter 3 of our Equity Walk and Talk on Diversifying the Teaching Field. My name is David Hinojosa and I am the Director of the IDRA Equity Assistance Center South, or as we like to call ourselves, the IDRA EAC-South. With me again today is our Associate Director, Paula Johnson.
Hi everybody, and thanks for joining us. Today we will be discussing equity-based district-level strategies that your school district can pursue to help build stronger pathways for teachers of color. These strategies are grounded in both research and inequity.
That's right, Paula. And as we noted in Chapter 2, that means that these strategies reflect practices in the field that encourage teachers of color to stay in the profession as a career opportunity and that uphold the tremendous value of teaching by creating a more positive vibe around teaching.
For a deeper dive into the research and the strategies, please see our written literature review, strategies, and other tools available on our website.
Thank you, Paula. Now let's get started. In Chapter 3, you will learn the following. 1, a brief overview of the state of teachers of color across the nation and the South. 2, the research on the social and academic benefits of faculty racial diversity. 3, the challenges and equity-based strategies that can lead to a more racially diverse faculty. 4, a short video from one of our EAC-South clients on their experiences with implementing strategies to increase faculty diversity in a school desegregation case. And 5, how our Equity Assistance Center South may be able to assist you.
As we noted previously in Chapter 2, the state of teachers of color across the nation and the South reflects marginal progress over the last 3 decades. The latest survey data show that only 18% of the teaching force in the 2011-12 school year were non-white. At the same time, our student demographics have changed quite dramatically. When comparing the difference in student and teacher racial demographics, the diversity gap widened from 18% in 1987 through 88 to 29% in 2011-12.
At IDRA, our student-teacher demographic diversity map for the 11 states in our Equity Centers region allows you to determine how your district's student-teacher diversity gap compares to the overall state gap. In our separate chapter on data, we will explore trends in this data and show viewers how they can compile and analyze similar data down to the campus level. So, why should schools and districts pursue a more diverse faculty? Well, growing research shows incredible social and academic benefits of having a diverse faculty, including higher expectations of students of color, improving student achievement, lowering absenteeism, and reducing suspensions for students of color, and serving as important role models for all students.
Racially diverse faculty can also help break down racial stereotypes and engender positive attitudes. And having a diverse faculty brings cultural knowledge and capital that teachers can share with each other as they design programming and curricula. These benefits cross races and can benefit all students and teachers both inside and outside of schools.
So now let's talk about some of the challenges facing the field and how schools and school districts can increase teacher diversity through equity-based strategies. The challenges confronting people of color who want to become teachers extends across the K-16 pipeline. For example, many districts continue to struggle to provide equitable learning opportunities between their schools, with the schools concentrated with more students of color often receiving fewer resources compared to other schools.
And with fewer resources often comes poorer college preparation, which often means fewer high school graduates and fewer college graduates, as this chart shows, created by the Learning Policy Institute as part of our literature review. You can see how the pool of potential Black and Latina teachers dwindles from high school graduation all the way to bachelor's degrees awarded in education.
And districts can address these inequities by examining their resource allocations and opportunity to learn metrics such as teaching experience and certifications in teaching subjects, class size, discipline referrals, and loss of learning time, among others, and then restructuring their resource allocations and teacher supports as necessary.
Other challenges that disrupt the pipeline beyond high school include escalating higher ed costs, lack of financial support for higher ed, and low teacher salaries and conditions that tend to especially impact persons of color. To counter these, school districts can offer financial incentives for teachers with higher debt-to-income ratios.
Districts can also demand or encourage alternative teacher certification programs to improve the quality of their programs. Today, approximately 1 in 5 candidates of color comes from an alternative certification program, compared to about 1 in 10 white candidates. Although alternative programs vary in quality, many allow for little, if any, opportunities for student teaching and culturally relevant education. And studies show that teachers who enter the field with little preparation are 2 to 3 times more likely to leave their schools than those with comprehensive preparation.
Districts should also re-examine their recruitment policies and practices. For example, districts would be well served at developing partnerships for internships and recruitment visits with minority-serving institutions. They could also revisit their recruitment materials to ensure they reach a more diverse audience.
Districts should also revisit their hiring policies and practices. For example, some districts may consider scores on praxis exams or other teacher licensure exams, despite little evidence showing any connection between exam scores and teacher effectiveness. However, because exam scores tend to be lower for candidates of color, some schools that exercise this practice may end up excluding teachers of color. So districts may want to stop considering teacher licensure scores in the hiring process.
David, did you know that research also shows how poor working conditions impact teacher recruitment, hiring, and retention? The local cost of teacher turnover can be significant, with some estimates ranging between $7.3 billion and $8.5 billion annually. School districts can play a pivotal role by providing better teacher supports through comprehensive, well-structured induction and mentoring programs through the early years of teaching, as well as leadership support. Great professional support for teachers and school leaders can go a long way.
More and more school districts are also turning to Grow Your Own programs, or GYO programs. These programs aim to build and recruit teachers from a diverse local pool of students either in middle school or high school, local universities, or through teacher aides and other persons with associate degrees in the communities.
That's right, David. And by emphasizing equitable approaches with culturally relevant curriculum, districts can help ensure that their GYO programs are more attractive to students of color, and that all teachers coming from those programs are better prepared to reach and teach all students. Working with Dr. Angela Valenzuela, we created a special edition how-to model for a community-based partnership. It's a great roadmap that your district may want to follow or adapt in designing a local GYO program.
Finally, because our Equity Assistance Center continues to assist several districts that are under school desegregation orders, we wanted to discuss some additional strategies that may apply in those cases. Many of these strategies may work for all schools, not just those under desegregation orders, and are critical parts of the Equity Center's joint equity-based framework for achieving integrated schooling. You may want to check with your legal counsel before proceeding with any of these strategies.
Today, we have Mary Kelly, Human Resources Coordinator for Randolph County Schools, Alabama. We recently worked with Randolph County in devising a comprehensive recruitment, hiring, and retention plan to address issues raised in its desegregation case. Please watch this short video clip of Ms. Kelly discussing some of these strategies.
One of the issues has been that we have not been as diligent as we needed to be with attending the recruiting events and trying to build partnerships with our historically Black colleges and universities. Working with the consultant initially, they came and did a site visit, met with our African American administrators and faculty members, and they were able to provide the consultant with some feedback that dealt with recruiting and retention. And we have been able to use the insights from those faculty members and rotate them into our policies and procedures that are driving our mission to gain unitary status and to provide diversity on all of our campuses and improve our percentage of hires. And we've been able to retain those people thus far through the first year. We put some procedures in place to assist us with the retention process. We're on a mission to try to provide that support. Our teacher mentoring program has taken on a new dynamic in that it's comprehensive, and we are providing a mentor for African American teachers into their 4th year of employment. The mentoring program is something that I get a lot of questions about when I go recruiting. You know, a lot of new hires want to know, do you have a mentoring program? We provide a primary mentor and a secondary mentor, and the primary mentor is typically a site-based person that is subject specific, and then our secondary mentor is going to be race specific and or community specific, and there are a different amount of time that you spend with each one, and we have found that to be very, very beneficial. We're using a lot of our retired African American administrators and teachers to provide these mentoring services, especially those that are coming out of the community. And these are people that were vested, they're African Americans that were vested in the Randolph County school system, and they were very successful, and now they're able to give back to these new hires and provide insights for them, because they understand the dynamics of the school and the community that they are working in.
Thanks so much for sharing, Mary. It has been great working with you and Superintendent John Jacobs. We will soon have a special edition set of desegregation strategies posted on our website in the spring of 2018. But of course, if you need immediate assistance, please reach out to us.
Schools, districts, and states must all work to improve the way they prepare and support all teachers and the pathways into teaching, especially for teachers of color. As we have outlined in our Quality Schools Action Framework, teacher quality and teacher diversity work hand in hand as part of a larger framework to create excellent schools for all school children. The academic and social benefits are many, and schools should carefully devise plans to ensure opportunity and access for all.
We hope you have enjoyed this chapter on district strategies for diversifying the field of teaching. Should you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please contact us by submitting an intake form, calling us, or sending us an email. Your regional IDRA EAC-South Center is here to serve you.